have one before and after each primary catalytic converter you have on your car. So if you've got a 4-banger, you're only going to have 2 O2 sensors. If you've got a V6 or a V8, you're probably going to have at least 3. So safely disconnect these from the car, and then we'll get to working underneath the car. The bolts that are attached to the rear of the cab back exhaust are usually not reusable. Because they face the most amount of corrosion, you have to either torch the bolts off or grind them off. If you don't feel confident doing that, before you do your manifold swap, go to your local exhaust shop and get them to replace the bolts for you. The $30 that you spend towards this will save you many, many headaches. So I got my older brother to grind off the bolts. For the bottom one, he was able to get an angle grinder in there, and he was able to chop off the top part of the bolt, and we were able to head it through, taking off the exhaust bolt. Now for the other one, there's not that much room back there. What he actually had to do was he got a Dremel tool with a cutting disc, and he cut it off similarly to the angle grinder, but only because it's smaller, it would take a little bit more time. With the bottom bolts now out, go back to the top of the header and remove the loose nuts that we already took out. Now, once those are completely gone and out of it, you have to be careful that you don't ruin any of the O2 sensor wiring that's still hooked up to the exhaust manifold. Now, you have to safely take it out. Now, for this car, you just have to jimmy it around the front sway bar and a couple pieces of heat shield, but you can get it out, no problem. With the exhaust manifold now off of the car, you can actually take off the oxygen sensors that are still mounted onto it. Now, as you can see right here, there's one sensor up top. You can either use a 22mm oxygen sensor socket, so something that's specifically designed for this, or if you don't have that, you can also go with the means by using a 22mm wrench, and you'll basically get the exact same job done. Not only is the piping on our aftermarket headers larger in diameter, but they're also equal length headers. So what this means is it's going to allow the engine to get rid of its exhaust gases much better than the OEM ones. You can also see that on the new one, there's no catalytic converters. There's a little resonator after the flex pipe, and that's it. On the OEM headers, you can see that there's 2 catalytic converters that will restrict exhaust flow. If you look through the OEM exhaust manifold, you can actually see the honeycomb catalyst that makes up your catalytic converter. Now, you can see that it's very restrictive. If you were to essentially take that out, that's what our new system is. If you look through the new one, you can see that it's just that. You can see it through and through with nothing restricting it. Now, something that's nice is that the Megan Racing headers come with a warranty. It's nice that a company will stand behind their products. Now it's time to put everything back together. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get my primary oxygen sensor and thread it into the headers. The primary O2 sensor reads the air-fuel mixture inside the engine and adjusts it accordingly. So it's very important that you put this in and make sure that it's tight. If it's not tight, any leaking air will give the oxygen sensor an improper reading. Alright, now grab your headers and then go underneath the car. Now you're going to want to jimmy your exhaust system now up to the engine so you can mount it up to the top. If you're looking for some extra hands, you can always use your jack to support the bottom side of the headers just so you don't have to hold it down. Then go ahead and attach the test pipe along with just